Hello everyone, tonight will be a very quick recording just to drop a note to you all. I'm working late tonight, so I don't really have time to put any specific content out tonight, and I've got an assignment to finish for clients at work. So I did manage to catch a bit of a summary of tonight's show, Revenge of the Sis, and well, I shouldn't say tonight's show, but they do occur in, because I'm in a different time zone, I don't get to listen to it until the following day. So I've watched the two recordings of the last two previous Revenge of the Sis shows, and I'll make a specific observation, and that is that the amount of criticism, I guess, or the amount of commentary that goes towards their own situation with DLive and their platform situation with YouTube and whatever, it does seem to have diminished markedly. I've been fairly critical of it, and I know there's a lot of some of these different sites, people are calling them hate sites. I don't know if they're hate sites in particular. I think they're taking themselves fairly seriously if they consider them to be hate sites. I think the whole show is about, their show is about basically punching upwards, and I think a lot of these smaller channels just like to punch upwards as well, and we are using these guys for a bit of content. But I would say that collectively, as a voice, some of these smaller channels that have been critical of them over the last couple of weeks and their preoccupation with their own situation, it's been getting through. Now, we're not totally without empathy. We understand that they should have got paid, and hopefully they do get paid, and we're all worried about the larger platforms and where they're taking speech and how they silence the voice of dissenters. But the people that do tune in night after night, they do expect a bit of commentary, and they expect some entertainment, they expect some content, and everyone that's watched this show for long enough will understand that if the roles were reversed and they were watching someone continually, as you know, one of their subject matters, if you like, if they were watching them continually complain about their circumstances in regard to their money and the problems they're having with the platforms or whatever, they would be fairly unrelenting and scathing in their criticism of their subject matter. So we know that would be the case. So I would say that collectively the voice has gone through. They have been heard. We have been heard collectively, because there is a distinct lessening of the talk about their internal issues, and we're getting back to having a look at some hardcore content. I wouldn't say they've let up at all in terms of their criticism of some of their followers and some of their listeners. They're still a bit whiny in that regard, I must admit, in particular. Not so much on Revenge of the Sis side, but certainly the Nightwave show tends to be a bit whiny lately. And he tends to take it out a lot on those people. I don't know what it is, whether Mersh has basically got into his substances by that time of the evening and he's feeling a lot of anger and resentment, who knows. But the vitriol was still there towards people. I've seen a couple of other videos today on some of these channels where they're talking about Mersh's ability, or what he does. He lashes out quite often. It doesn't appear that there's many people who've come out unscathed, because you can be talking with Mersh apparently, and everything can be fine, then all of a sudden he takes a comment out of context, or he misreads a comment, and he will basically use that against you pretty hard. And I saw one particular video today, a person, I won't mention any names or gender, and they were pretty upset, and they talked about how they didn't get an apology or anything when they went into his defence, and he did not, he took it the wrong way, and basically he turned on them. And people are saying, well, that's just Mersh, that's just the way it is. But anyway, getting back to the subject, yes, it's very interesting to note that they have got back on track in some regard, and I think that's due to the collective efforts of the people that are providing commentary to the show. So I hope they take it on board, and I hope they appreciate the fact that their listeners do have an opinion. Their listeners are important, because without their listeners they wouldn't have much of a show. Mersh did actually say, I can't remember if it was on ROTC or on Nightwave, but he particularly said that the number of sites that have sprung up recently, he's getting a lot of, he's getting a lot of inspiration, a lot of enjoyment out of listening to them. So it's interesting to note that he is listening. He might not be listening to every second religiously, but it does appear that he tries to keep across some of these sites and the content that's coming through. So well done. I think collectively we can take some credit for the improvement in the content and the lessening of their complaining. So good night from me, and hopefully I'll be in touch soon. Thank you.